Secret Mom Hacks, episode number 36. My name is Krista, and I am your host. It's October 11th, 2023, and today I'm back with part 2 of my interview with the incredible Patricia Lohan of Powerhouse Feng Shui. Now, if you missed part 1, which came out last week, make sure you go back and take a listen because we covered a lot. We learned about several feng shui philosophies, why it's like acupuncture for your home. And for those of you like me who have no idea where to start, Patricia gives us her roadmap for how to start implementing these principles in our homes. Today's episode builds on many of the things we discussed last week, so definitely start with episode 1 if you missed it. Then come back and listen to today's episode where we will deep dive into decluttering around the home, turning your child's bedroom into a calming yet fun and productive space, and so much more. But before we dive into our chat, I just want to say thanks for tuning in, Mama. I started this podcast because babies don't come with instructions. As of this recording, I am chasing around a 5-year-old that no amount of Googling, mom groups, or books were able to fully prepare me for. There's a lot of stuff people don't talk about when it comes to pre pregnancy, during pregnancy, postpartum, and so on. And as someone who was previously terrified of all of the above, I'm here to help you pull back the curtain on all of it. And every now and then, it may get a little messy. We may share a little TMI, but that's why you're here, right? My goal is you'll leave every episode feeling refreshed, inspired, and hopeful, knowing you are not on this mom journey alone. Now, there's a lot of subject matter to cover when it comes to mom life, and we are covering it all. So let's get back into this chat with Patricia. Here is part 2 of my interview with Patricia Lohan of Powerhouse Feng Shui. There's probably not just a simple answer to this question, but say you need to address the whole house. So you start with the front door, try to handle everything maybe that needs to be handled over the course of like a week or two, or especially let's talk about for the busy family. So you've got
Yeah.
maybe both parents working, a couple of kiddos. And so just busy schedules. And this isn't something that we can dedicate an entire day or 2 hours on
No,
end
yeah.
to. Like, what does that realistically look like for that person to handle every room? I guess, is that
So
like a
first
year
of
long
all,
project? Is
I
it
would
like
not
6
even,
months?
yeah, this is so interesting. And I think this is also the difference between two different parts. So when people come into my world, I often say to them, what we're talking about is like bigger surface things. Like, and when I'm working with a client, I'm like, here's your personal report. Here's the 9 things that you need to do in your house to balance the energies first. And that's the acupuncture needles to get everything flowing. And then after that, everything that I've talked about here is supplemental and beneficial. But I don't have the information on your house to give you your personal report to be like, here's your priority 9 things to make sure that everything is like balanced and happy and clear. So we're kind of like, this is the other things you can do. So for example, you're talking about that front door. When you're just washing the dishes, you have the cloth washing dishes, you're like, I'm just going to go and clean the front door now. So you just do one thing. I'm just going to clean the front door and say, clean that front door. Let me have a quick look around and see. And then you just leave it. And you could be like, oh, look at the welcome mat. Right. Okay. The next day I'm in Walmart. I'm going to get a mat. I'm going to walk by and buy a new welcome mat. So it doesn't have to be, I'm going to tackle every part of my whole house because that's way too overwhelming. And even when it comes to, say, decluttering, I say to my clients, don't go near your clothes. If you're a real bookworm, don't go near your books. Don't go near the shoes, the clothes, or the photos until you've built the muscle for decluttering. And the muscle for decluttering starts with the Tupperware drawer, the food that's gone out of date. So you start on the simple little things. And then just in terms of just by the fact of listening to this podcast, you're going to be more conscious of your environment. You're going to just start seeing things. I would be like, personally, if I was like, oh my God, I have to do every room, it's not a feasible plan in terms of like, it's not a year-long thing. It's in your life as you're moving through. So you're like, I'm cleaning the living room. Okay, what's in here that's not relevant to being in here that I can get out? Look at the painting. I think that you're creating a massive big to-do list for yourself. And I'm like, let that list go and connect with your house and see what unfolds. And that's what I would say to you. I have a 7-week program that teaches feng shui that people do over a year to 2 years, and they do everything in their own time. And it's not a race. The idea of feng shui is to bring health and harmony in a happy home. So, and you say, like, where would you start? Like for me, if I always say to people, start at your front door, then go check your bedroom because that's where you spend the most time, 8 hours. And if you work from home, then your office. And then after that, you can do the other spaces.
Perfect. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
going to do. Okay. So, are there specific adjustments or design elements that could support a child's development or concentration, creativity in their study areas, their play areas, or
Yeah.
their room?
The first thing I like to say just about kids' bedrooms, it really is their sanctuary. And oftentimes their bedrooms are just way too busy. There's just way too much stuff. If you just think about the idea of, and just like kind of backing back a bit and being like, I'm not a minimalist. It's not about them having nothing, but it's about being super realistic about what they're using and what they have in their bedroom, what's on display in the room. So I really like to encourage, and this is something I've really worked with my clients in it over the last few years with their kids' bedrooms, is getting like they get like either cork boards or picture frame boards that they're like, okay, this is your space to put whatever you want on that space. But then the rest of the walls, we need some clear space because we want to create it like a sanctuary, a place where they'll rest and they'll get good sleep. From a setup perspective in your bedroom or from working, there's two things that I talk about. And one is for the bed, position of the bed is important. And that is like having a headboard and being able to see the door so that they're sleeping with their head to the wall and they can see the door, but it's not coming straight at their feet. And that is the best practice with feng shui. And I do have actually, what I've done is I've got a few special resources for moms that you can go to patricialohan.com/moms. And there's a whole video on feng shui for your bedroom for kids. There's also a whole guide that
Perfect.
goes through bedroom etiquette, like colors, linen, storage, all everything for bedrooms for kids. And there's also a meditation for a harmonious home. So just even that setting that intention, there's a whole list of things. So if you need that, if you want that, that'll help you with just the bedroom setup. But in terms of the bedroom, it depends on also the age of the kids as well. But if you set it up from a young age, you're like, this is your cork board, put whatever you want on it. As opposed to here's all the walls and you can have Angry Birds everywhere or Avengers or whatever it is. I have worked with prior to my feng shui taking off and my work with feng shui taking off. I worked with kids with autism and on the spectrum for several years, one to one, and with sound and with vibration and healing. And I always ask their parents about the bedroom or what the kids were wearing. I had one little boy that used to come into me and he was wearing Angry Birds all the time. And I was like, Angry Birds. He doesn't need any more anything high energy. And it's just not connecting the dots. So in the bedroom, it may be fun to have Superman quilts, but the color and the energy is a lot, especially for kids that are super sensitive. So you want to be like, how can I neutralize this, but also keep them happy? So that's something that you really want to be thinking about. And then would you walk in there and be like, could I sleep here? Is there a dangly thing hanging over my head? It could look really cute, but it's going to affect your sleep. And oftentimes, kids' bedrooms is a lot of storage on display. Can we pack it away? Can we get it into boxes so it's just stored away? And then for desks, you asked about creativity, and for desks, for work and study and school. I see this so many times. It's the position of the desk. So I don't like having a desk with a child's desk with the up against the wall and their back to the door. So it's the same goes for an actual your office or your workspace. Ideally, you don't sit with your back to the door because it puts automatically heightens your flight or fight response because you can't see what's coming at you. So you're just like, huh. So you're on guard. So you're not able to relax. So then you can't get creative. So you're tense working. And that's what we're doing to kids when we sit them with their face to the
Mm.
wall on a little desk with the door coming behind them. So if you turn them around, and it doesn't sometimes be the most practical thing, But just think about their productivity, and they're sitting with their back to the wall. They can see the door coming. They've got their little area to do their homework, and they've got support of the wall. Way better, way, way, way better. So you're able to relax and see what's coming. In children's bedrooms, I also definitely recommend having a picture of the family together. I was recently interviewed by a lovely, lovely two moms together, and one of their daughters was not sleeping well at all. And they're like, what will we do? How can we do something? And I'm like, well, how far away is her bedroom from yours? And she was, well, we're on the first floor on this level, and she's over a hallway and then up on the second floor. And I was like, how old is she? She's 2. I was like, okay, she's too far away. And if you can't change that, we need pictures up the staircase to her bedroom. We need her to see pictures of the family together. She's just feeling this distance away from you. Is there a closer bedroom to get started with? She could ultimately be in that far away bedroom, but how can you psychologically still feel the connection with your parents if you're too far away? So that's photos and encourage, all of that will make a big difference.
So smart. It all makes sense. It really does.
Mhm.
It all makes
I
sense. But
know.
you need to hear this stuff. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's not necessarily it's not just obvious.
Yeah.
So
And sometimes kids' bedrooms are all decorated in colors, reds, blues, bright. But it's like, oh man, would you sleep in a red bedroom? Would you sleep in a red race car bed? It's a race car. Imagine racing, sleeping in a bed that's the shape. It's Now, if your kid does have a car bed, like one of my clients recently, I was like, it's okay. She's like, he's going to grow out of it in the next couple of months. Perfect. But it's future pacing. Please just get a normal bed. It's just get a normal bed. You want them to sleep. You don't want them streaming or in fire element, which creates anger, which creates aggression, which creates restlessness. And that fire element is too much.
now let's take a quick break. Hey, Secret Mom hackers. Are you a budget savvy family looking for a financial tool that can help you take control of your spending and savings? Well, I've got something fantastic to share with you. Cube Money. Cube Money is the ultimate budgeting solution that's tailor-made for families who want to manage their money with ease and precision. Here's why our family loves it. It's just like the envelope system we all know, but digitized. Imagine the simplicity of old school envelope budgeting, but with a modern twist. Cube Money digitizes the envelope system, allowing you to allocate funds to specific spending categories right from your smartphone. It's like having a set of virtual envelopes for groceries, entertainment, and more, all in one app. The whole family benefits. Cube Money isn't just for individuals. It's designed to accommodate the needs of your entire family. You can set up sub-accounts for your spouse and kids, helping everyone stay on the same financial page. It's a powerful tool for teaching financial responsibility to your children. Stress-free savings. Planning for the future is a breeze with Cube Money. You can easily allocate funds for savings goals, whether it's a family vacation, a new home, or an emergency fund. It's all about turning your financial dreams into reality. So if you're ready to simplify your family's budgeting, track your spending with precision, and achieve your financial goals, give Cube Money a try. Visit their website at Cube Money to learn more. That's QUBE money.com to learn more and use the discount code SECRETMOMHACKS, all one word, SECRETMOMHACKS, to get 2 months of their premium or family plans for free. Cube Money, on a mission to see you live more and worry less. Try Cube Money today. Now back to the show. Okay, so we all, self-admittedly, all of us, spend lots of time with screens. Are there ways to kind of balance that technology use with that need for the healthy and balanced environment? So, for example, I did grow up with a TV in my room and I enjoyed it. At the same time, it also made me stay up way later than I should have. I'd put a sleep timer on, but I had, as a little kid, I was up close to midnight more than I should have been. But now, as an adult, moving into this house, we strictly said no TVs in bedrooms. If wherever we're sleeping, I have a TV here in my office, but that's okay because I'm working. Sometimes I need to have that TV on. We have one, of course, in our living room, but I really feel that our bedrooms, well, you said it, they're our sanctuary. It's where we're
Hmm.
supposed to rest and relax and unwind. And
Yeah.
so that's one line in the sand that I've drawn. It's just no TVs in bedrooms. What else can we do to just help
Yeah, for sure. And I
maintain
think
that
that we're in
healthy
such a
environment?
crazy digital age right now that, again, I'm 100% behind the no TVs in the bedrooms. But I had one client who's just like, me, my husband, my son, on a Saturday morning, we put on our favorite family movie, we snuggle in bed, it's our family time, this is what we do. I want to get over in my TV. And I'm like, I am not going to hold you back on having your family time if that's something that feels good. She's like, it doesn't go on any other time of the week. It's just that's our one thing. And I was like, if that's your one thing, it's completely fine. But in the meantime, can you cover it? Can you put a screen over it? Can you literally just, because there's a reflective energy with it, and just think about all of the energy that's behind a TV that has been actually on the screen, like the news and all that stuff. You don't even want to connect with that. So putting even a little shawl or something over it if you do have a TV in your bedroom. But in the general, I'd be like a no to TVs. The other thing in terms of right now is think at nighttime, and if you're having technology, you just create a new habit. So I have this is my office, and this is where I charge my phone. So this is where my phone is at night. I don't bring it to my bedroom. It doesn't sleep beside my head. Because beside my head at night, I will not sleep because basically I run my business from it. So it has all the emails, all the messages, it has everything with my team. This is basically, I may as well be in bed with my work. So it's like, no, I'm not bringing my work to bed. So and then when you think about that, you're like, oh, but what about my alarms? What about this? What about that? Buy an alarm clock, go old school. And not only just like what's being used and what you use the phone for, but also the EMFs and the Wi-Fi and the signals right beside your head. It is not going to be helping for a good night's sleep. So I would recommend definitely just creating a family routine of we put our phones in this place. This is the charge station. Everyone puts them here, all screens, all of that just goes here. And then you step away and you've got your bedroom. And that's a really important boundary for you, for your relationships, and for your kids. If you have for example, I had a client who we were in her apartment in New York, and beautiful apartment into the bedroom, and there was like, it was fascinating because they were trying for a baby and it was just hadn't been happening, and she's like, can you come and have a look, let me see? And I was like, okay. And in the bedroom, literally double bed, and then one side of the bed, on her husband's side of the bed, was paperwork higher than the bed. And I was like, there's three people in this relationship. There's his work, him, and you. There's no space for anybody else in here. He's been split between the two. So it has to get out. And you have to create the bedroom to be a sanctuary. So she had family photos, she had her grandparents' photos in the room. Get all of that out and just make your bedroom about you and your partner. A picture of you and your husband, or you and your partner on the happiest day you are ever together, whatever day that is, that you kind of see it. It doesn't matter if it's the worst picture photo, it's just like the best energy from it. Bring that into your bedroom and get rid of everything else. And that will change, I guarantee you, change the energy of your relationship.
Patricia, so many great nuggets. Is there a tip that you can just offer for just keeping the household balanced energetically when it just seems like things are constantly moving from upstairs, downstairs, inside, outside?
So,
Just
what I
a
would say
tip.
to you, first of all, is to relax. The thing is that if it bothers you, it's going to be creating tension for you. And it's just that's creating stress. So, how can you relax in it? And then from that relaxed space, when you start to connect with the energy of your home, you start to notice things. You're like, okay, well, that happens with his shoes. Okay. So just show me. And you can communicate with your house. And there's so many times with clients, I'm just like, connect with your house and be like, okay, show me how I can work with this. And from a relaxed place, be like, what can we do here for the kid, for your daughter who brings everything down? Maybe you need a space downstairs so that things go downstairs. And you're like, okay, so you're going to bring things down. We're going to have a home for them downstairs, but you're going to have to bring them back up again. And that's going to be your job. Whatever comes down, this is the home for it. But if you want it, you have to bring it back up. So it's like can you recreate, how can you make it easier for you rather than stressing yourself out? Because the home, for all the stuff from upstairs has to go down. If it's coming up and down, what do we need to do? And the answer will come from a calm place, not from a I'm running around picking up stuff all the time. That's where it'll come from. So it's like, how do I calm and relax and see what's happening and be like, okay, well, that's just always coming down. I'm always bringing the same thing down. So maybe it just needs to stay down here. I'm like, okay, that's going to stay.
And I know one of my big things is just I just need to clean the mud room. That's the one area in our room. Not clean it. It just needs to get organized. I feel like our mud room has become our catch-all.
Mm-hmm.
And again, other things have gotten somewhat organized around the house, but that has truly become, well, if there's no room in the living room, just shove it in the mudroom. Or if in the
Yeah.
garage, well, this doesn't really belong in the garage. Well, there's no spot in it for the house. Well, it just needs to land in the mudroom. So I think a big thing, probably a big item on my feng shui checklist would be front door. I'm gonna start there,
Yeah.
but then mudroom,
Yeah.
because like I said, it does kind of just become the catch-all.
And then when that's
Surely that's not
more
just me.
organized, and when that is organized, then it'll just like ripple out. Because if that's what they go and they see that room, they're like, oh my god, it's a bomb. I'll just like leave. Then it's just like it mirrors everything else. So you're like, okay,
Mhm.
if I have this place where they come in, it's like organized, and you are on top of it, then you're just like, all I need is for you to help me with this one, and not a like. Because if you do the and get cranky with it, they're just not going to listen. It's not going to change either.
No. And with my daughter, I'm usually pretty good about, cuz she'll come in and just first thing she takes off her shoes. All she wants to do is kick off her shoes, and they go right under the coffee table, and then they would be there the next day if I don't say something. So I've gotten pretty good about when she takes her shoes off, where do your shoes go, honey? Go put them at the bottom of the steps so that when we go
Yeah.
upstairs, one of us is packing the shoes up to her closet. My final question for now is, how can parents start incorporating these principles into their home without feeling overwhelmed? I know you said to relax, like come at it from a
Yeah.
relaxed space.
Yeah.
So,
I think that
any
the first thing is just like, again, just relax and be super grateful that you have a home, that you have a roof over your head, that there's this beautiful space that you get to create and you get to actually use to help you and support you. Because oftentimes, and this is something that's very misunderstood about this, your home can become your biggest ally in supporting you. I have seen so many amazing successes for my clients where their kids are getting better grades, where their relationship is getting better, where their finances have completely improved because the energy of their house has been improved. And that's why I do this, because it's like your home is the start of everything, it's the foundation of everything. And you can have it as your biggest ally, or it can be literally sabotaging you. So you want to get started with building this connection with it and getting that awareness that it can be holding you back from like literally flourishing for you and everyone in your family.
very important takeaways that I know all parents can use here. Truly, Patricia, this has been such a fun, entertaining chat. I really appreciate your time today. And is there anything that we didn't cover that you think would be helpful for parents to know?
I don't think so. I think that the first, like, just really just understanding that your home has an energy and it has a power to support you to really create a beautiful, easy flowing life, and just acknowledging that and diving deeper into it would be just amazing, because it truly is the gift that keeps on giving when you start to support it and work with the energy of it.
Well, everybody can find you at patricialohan.com, right?
Yeah. Forward slash
Okay.
moms for all those resources. But I also have more for abundance and for your career. And I've got an amazing feng shui mini course that kind of guides you through more of the fundamentals of feng shui and how to get started, with like tons of little 1 minute tips that you can do in like a second to change the energy really quickly in your home.
Awesome. That's what I was going to ask you. When I had gone to your website, I noticed that it seems like if you'd put in your email address, you could get some things. There were maybe 8 or 10 resources there, and I was going to ask
Yeah.
you, is there one specific one in those lists in that list that you would point someone towards if they're just getting started and have never done any of this?
I would start with the mini course, like Feng Shui 101, because if you don't know anything about it and how it can help you, that was really important to kind of demystify it. And then for as your mom and you wanted to kind of check out your bedroom and the child's bedroom and that beautiful meditation to really kind of set the stage for a harmonious home, it's beautiful. So that's patricialohan.com/moms.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. I'm so happy Patricia made time for this conversation. Truly, I walked away with so many great tips from our chat. As someone who reluctantly tried acupuncture a couple of years ago, it really did help me with what I was dealing with at the time. And I love that Patricia says feng shui is like acupuncture for your home. It makes so much sense. I'm actually really excited to move forward on several of the home projects I've been neglecting over the past few years. With home projects, my tendency is to delay them until I can't really delay them anymore. It's either zero, I'm not touching it, I'm not looking at it, or it's everything. And I spend all day, all of my effort, and I spend all of my energy working on it. And I don't like how either of those makes me feel. It doesn't feel good to not work on the things and ignore them. It also doesn't feel good to just exert all of this energy to the point of exhaustion and just not wanting to deal with the next thing on the list. So I don't like how that makes me feel. Patricia emphasized working on these things in a relaxed state. She talked about having that attitude of gratitude. So, how I'm approaching these home projects that I need/want to work on is to be in that relaxed state. Every week for 1 hour, I am picking a room to declutter, organize, envision how I want it to be. So, for example, we have an upstairs living room/rec room where there's a piece or two of furniture that needs to be moved. There's clutter in the corner, things that just need to be dealt with around that room, and so on. So I've added a note to my calendar to handle those things next week. Then the following week, I'm picking another day for 1 hour to assess a different room. And ideally, I will have done everything that at that point needed to be done in that upstairs rec room. But you know what? If not, then the following week, I will work for another hour on that room. I'm really excited to implement this. So thanks again to Patricia for these fantastic tips. If you head over to secretmomhacks.com, I've got the transcript from today's conversation. Make sure you follow Patricia on all the socials. You can find links to her socials in the show notes for today's episode. Also, make sure you visit patricialohan.com/moms, where you can access several resources for transforming your family spaces to promote restful sleep, learning, emotional well-being, and more. I'm curious what your favorite part of our interview was. I hope you're walking away inspired, like I am, with tips either for yourself or that new mom you know. If that's the case, please subscribe for free if you haven't already. Give me a 5-star rating and leave a review sharing your favorite takeaway so far. Speaking of reviews, both my mom and mother in law recently stopped by my Facebook page and left really lovely reviews. So we will start with my mom, Susie. My mom says, I love reading your stories. Keep up the good work. And then my mother in law, Gloria, says, I love the way you are encouraging parents to read to their children. This is a way for parents to go on nightly trips to see the world and help them deal with the emotions we feel in life. Thank you, Mom, and to my mother in law for leaving these really nice reviews over on my Facebook page. Those were really sweet and unexpected. If you enjoy these interview episodes, make sure you check out episode number 31 about breastfeeding with lactation consultant Kimberly Hampton, or episode number 29 with author and publishing strategist Athiti Warden Singh, both moms who are brilliant at what they do and are true founts of wisdom. I also have a full slate of other interviews. You can find them all over at secretmomhacks.com/podcast. Don't forget to stop by my website where you can find those transcripts, resources, and a ton more. Make sure you stay tuned for next week's episode. And until then, you've got this, mama.